WYSHradio.com. You can find a transcript of Jones' statement. Plus, you can read all of our previous coverage on this developing story. Once again, when more information becomes available, we will share it with you. The Anderson County Employees Insurance Board of Trustees will meet 2 more times this month, both at 3 p.m. and both in room 118A of the courthouse in Clinton. Those meetings will be held on March the 13th and the 20th. Again, for more, please visit WYSHradio.com.
I'm Regina Copeland, and I'm the Republican candidate running for Anderson County Trustee. I'm asking for your vote in the upcoming primary on May 1st. I have been your 911 director for the past 18 years. In that time, I have been the project manager for over $1.4 million.
Good evening and welcome to the locker room. Glad to have you with us tonight, and it's baseball season because it's cold out.
It's finally football season. It's chilly outside. Man, if we got a packed shit, we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Have we?
Oh, you just wouldn't believe how much we got to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. Man.
Wow.
Lot to talk about.
Okay.
Some of these conversations could take hours tonight.
Oh, my gosh.
And we only got an hour to do it in, so we're going to have to,
So are you
pick
medicated?
It up. Medicated.
Are you medicated?
No, I didn't take no medication tonight. I thought it'd be best
So
to
you're
come in and fly
speaking
right.
off the hip, huh?
The best thing, and I'm going to make a comment here in a minute, and I know you're going to laugh when I say this, but I do have some friends in the officiating part of it, all right? Our man Brad and them, they just got hosed this past Monday night. I mean, that really, if you...
Were you there?
I'm not the only... No, I was not there.
Were your friends there?
My friends.
That officiate?
No, I wouldn't call these guys my friends.
So
As a matter of fact,
this
I
is
think...
hearsay.
No, I've seen the video.
Okay.
And I've got it from Brad, so that's not hearsay.
Okay.
And other people. I've listened to other
You're getting it from Brad, it's hearsay.
Even Jesse Smithy.
Not that Brad would tell you.
He wouldn't tell us no
Okay.
lie. You know, even Jesse Smithy is commented on it.
Okay.
How Cofield got robbed. There was an article in the Roane County News, I think, or whoever it is, about Cofield getting robbed.
I hadn't seen that.
Well, I've got it on my phone. I'll show it to you here in just a second. But how about him getting robbed and how it all went down. And I know a couple of those officials in there, they're out of a Knoxville association, not out here. So I've talked to a bunch of officials, and man, they said, from what I'm told, was 7-some seconds ago, you're going to have to really say a lot. And I think I know you call a lot. It would take a lot for you to do something because the last thing you want to do, you don't want to affect the game, do you?
Right.
You want the kids or whoever you're calling against, whether it's kids or adults, want to determine the outcome of the game. This is a game where the officials actually determine the outcome of the game.
Wow.
Black eye on the officials? I think it is anyway.
Well, let's go back. This is Cofield and
North Green.
Okay.
Cofield and North Green.
Sub-state.
And here's the thing about North Green, from what I'm also told, they didn't even qualify to hold the thing in their gym because it only seats around 700. I'm told it. Right here we go. It's right here on TV. Watch. We'll see. There's a foul right there, and there's that reaction where the one kid from North Green gets a technical foul.
That's a technical on North Green.
That's a technical on North Green.
That gym seat 700.
Yeah, they've got them up on the stage.
Huh?
I think you're supposed to have 1,000. So I think it's. See, Parker McKinney goes to the line. Missed that one. 3 out of 4. Bang. They get the ball back. Uncontested layup, I think, right here. Just drives it all the way let him go all the way. Scored. $75-73. North Green gets it in. Look at that. Just flat out run over him. Flat out run over, called a block. Called a block.
So the elbow didn't count?
The elbow didn't, that's what I'm saying. So the elbow didn't count. So now we're going to go to the line and see if we can tie it up here.
Hey, Jim, we don't seat 700.
No, I guarantee you it don't. They lie. He misses. I mean, just let the video play itself out, and you'll see. Makes one. So now they're down by one, and Cofield's trying to get the ball in. This is Parker McKinney coming to get the ball. He's going to get the ball. Goes off. Watch his reaction. He just puts his hands up. Bang. He's all over him. He mugs him. He mugs him. Technical foul. Got his hands up. Now, we don't know if he said anything. We don't know that. I'll grant that. Now you've seen him point to the bench.
How many technical fouls has Parker McKinney had?
In 5 years? Yeah. None.
Okay. So it's not likely he said anything.
It's not likely he said anything.
And these are Knoxville officials?
Yeah. Now, I know it's a tough job for them, okay? And I know I give them a hard time in football season. I do it partly in fun because of some of the guys that it is that's pretty good push right there. I agree with that. That's probably on
a guard pull.
Probably so, and it probably was a foul, okay. But then the damage is already done. And to finish on what I was saying, I do in football. I give Kennedy and Porter and them guys a hard time. I know them, and they know I'm sort of joking around with them. So. Sometimes I'm serious with them, but not most of the time. So, what's really bad about this? This is just my opinion, okay? I don't really care what anybody thinks about it, whether they like it or not. But I just hate the officials took it out of Cofield's hand. And I don't know if North Green's ever been state or not, neither, Ron. Okay, Cofield's never been this.
I know
far.
The girls have been several times.
Yeah, they have. Cofield's never played in the sub-state game till Monday night, and never been to the state tournament. It's a shame that they didn't let the kids determine the game instead of the officials have that quick of a whistle, and do the outcome of that game.
Same official with all the technicals?
Same official with all the technicals. That's a shame. He's a veteran official. I know both of them. As a matter of fact, the one of the guys that's on there, he was banned from ever coming back to Fulton at one time because his calls. And got knocked out of going to state tournament too because of some things. But anyway, it's you don't ever want to see the officials, and we comment this on Friday night sometime about the officials. We don't want the officials to determine the game. We want the kids to determine the game here, or I do anyway. And I hate it for Brad, man. I talked to he was distraught. Tuesday, I really felt sorry, and there was nothing I could say. Man, I'm sorry. I mean, what do you say? There's nothing you can say. It's done. He can send the tape to TSSAA all he wants. It's probably not going to change anything. The game's in the book. I mean, it's just a shame. It's just a prime example of somebody wanting the highlight more than he should be in the highlight. So I really felt sorry for Brad. I mean, that's a tough situation, man.
So Morgan County had a chance to send 2 teams to the state.
Sure did. The only good thing about this is this. Oakdale, this might be the only time, this could be another history-breaking thing, this might be the only time, and if I was the people in Cofield, I'd load me a bus up and go to Murfreesboro Wednesday night or whenever they play, and I'd go root for Oakdale to beat North Green, and it would probably be the only time in the history that Cofield has rooted for Oakdale to win a ball game, and they ought to go and load a bus up and take them down there and root for Oakdale to beat them. That's what they ought to do.
Well,
it's not you can't blame it on North Green. It's not fair to really blame it on North, but maybe Oakdale could get a little revenge and help Cofield out and win the game. I understand Oakdale's a really good basketball team. Got a really good basketball team. I've had a couple guys tell me, hey, I won't be shocked if Oakdale doesn't win Class A. They say they're that good. I don't know if they are or not.
They are.
Well, I look forward if they are having them in studio and having them here with us. Maybe
I think one of the things. First of all, I saw where Brad was saying you had to get your tickets in Cofield because if you got up there, and they said no more room, you wouldn't get a ticket.
Correct.
If you had a ticket, you were going to get in. You can tell by looking, that gym didn't hold 7. That gym probably doesn't hold a whole lot more than Cofield's does. The difference may be the stage.
And this is not Brad telling me this. This is somebody else. That Cofield's gym is bigger.
Well, I'm just saying the stage could have been the difference.
Could have been the difference. Could have been.
But that's where TWSAA's got to do a better job. Oakdale had to play theirs at Roan State because of the size of the gym.
Sounds to me like North Green should have played theirs someplace else too.
And North Green may should have played theirs. But the district tournament and the region tournament, the region was supposed to be held at Tellico Plains. When Tellico Plains went out, they moved it back to Roan State.
And it was even packed at Roan State.
It was huge. I mean, there were people standing everywhere. It was probably the largest gate for districts and regions that's ever been in this region, in this district.
Wow, that's big right there.
Oakdale and Rockwood played on Tuesday night. There weren't many people left in Rockwood, and there was nobody left in Oakdale. I mean, huge. The real winner was probably Roan State baseball team because they got concessions.
They come out smelling like a rose, didn't they?
They did.
Well, I heard, and I was told about it being a big, and I was told, they said Oakdale boys basketball team is pretty good. It has a really legitimate shot.
Well, they have a Mr. Basketball finalist in Hicks.
He didn't get it, did he?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know they'd given them yet.
Well, if I read this right, do you read this right? That's the single A is from Van Buren County,
yeah.
Cade Mills.
Yeah.
That's who's got him. There's not anybody around here for us to talk about.
He was one of the finalists. And if Oakdale puts pressure on you from the opening tip,
I reckon they shoot the ball pretty good too.
They shoot the ball. They run. They run in and they run players in and out. So it's a pretty deep bench. And if they're on, they're a contender. They're a contender. And when I saw they were playing North Green, I didn't know about all the other stuff.
Oh, you didn't know nothing about
that? That's a good draw. That's a good draw for Oakdale.
Well, honestly,
it's not a West Tennessee team. It's a good draw for them.
Think about it. Is Oakdale's in Morgan County, right?
Morgan County.
Yes. But just think of how close Oakdale is to Harriman.
Well, and actually we probably at Rockwood have, and actually two of these kids played at Rockwood and transferred to Oakdale. Another one whose dad went to Rockwood and stayed and played at Oakdale. So most of the kids from Oakdale would interact more with Rockwood than Harriman.
Well, I was going to say
baseball, especially.
But what I was saying though was, if Oakdale was to win it, Harriman won it last year in Class A.
Right.
Just the close proximity.
Close proximity.
So that's what I was going to. That was the comment I was going to make.
But Morgan County had, just think if Cofield had both gone.
Yeah.
And in this scenario, would Cofield have played Oakdale the first?
That's a good question that could be asked. I'm not.
And probably not, because they probably would unseeded that so that same districts don't have to play.
Yeah, you shouldn't
first
have to
round.
You shouldn't have to do that in the same.
Now, and then Morgan County also has a girls team going. Wartburg girls.
Wartburg girls, I understand they're pretty good too. So shout out to them. And everybody knows I'm a fan of Parker McKinney's and have been. I'm a fan of a lot of high school kids that we've had over the last.
Parker, Peyton Manning.
I don't like Peyton Manning. I'll go with
mostly the good quarterbacks.
I'll go with Richie No's son and the Thackerson kid and Powell and Hazelhurst and all those kids and the kids from Rockwood that's been up here and Harriman. I'll go with all those kids before I'd go with Peyton Manning. They're better people, athletes, and everything. All right. I'd much rather eat with those and break bread with those than with Peyton Manning. I could care less about it. That's why he didn't get put on the big outside board over at Neyland Stadium. He's not respected.
He didn't want to. He was.
Well, they're putting people up there.
He was offered.
They're putting people over as winners. But
he's already got his.
You just got us off track.
He's already got his picture.
You wonder why I have to take medication to be on the show with you, because you just get a man off track. That ain't fair that you would do that, but you do it, and that's all right. We'll continue with it.
And it's so easy to
do.
It
is. It's real easy. All you got to do is say Peyton Manning, and I can't stand him, but that's beside the point.
Who?
Peyton Manning. I hate him. I don't necessarily hate him. I don't think he's that good. Anyway, I hate it for the kids down there. I hate it for the kids at Coalfield. I hate that for anybody. And maybe that's why we need some good people in officiating. So get in it next year if you want to be an official and get ready to get abused. I can see why people yell at you. I would yell at you too if I was there in the crowd. You'd probably be, as I say, sensitive. You'd be real sensitive and throw somebody out probably of the game, even a fan.
Never thrown one person out.
You'd get sensitive if I was around and throw me out and make me leave. So that'd be all right too. I've been thrown out of better places, but anyway, it's just hard pill to swallow.
Okay.
So I hated it, but man, that's a tough way to lose a ball game.
It is.
Well, listen, with less than 15 seconds, 4 technical fouls. Come on, come on. That's an overkill.
Somebody's looking there.
That's an overkill, man.
Somebody's looking there.
That's almost gutless.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk more about the state basketball tournaments right after this.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose financing as low as 0% for 63 months on all new 2018 Outback models at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area, all types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Well, girls basketball getting started today.
Yes.
In Murfreesboro. Class A, it's Pickett County versus Greenfield. They played at 4:30. Huntington versus Moore County at 6. And in Double A, it was Riverdale versus Ravenwood, and Arlington versus Bearden, and Daniel Boone versus Bradley Central, Mount Juliet versus Houston. Daniel Boone with the win over Oak Ridge. So that's opening day for the girls. Thursday, Wartburg will play Unaka at 10 a.m. in the morning. So Wartburg and Unaka. Dresden will play Summertown, and tomorrow Westview will play Alcoa, and Macon County will play Cheatham County. East Nashville will play Upperman, and Haywood County will play Gatlinburg Pittman. And
Brad just sent me a text and said they would not have played Oakdale if they would have been there.
Yeah, I can't imagine them playing.
And said that Oakdale will play a team from Memphis is pretty dang good. It's called Douglas. They're 30-1. That's who, if Oakdale wins and this Douglas beats Clay County, that's who Oakdale would have up next. So 30-1's a pretty good record. Thanks, Brad. Appreciate you calling.
Pretty good.
Sending me a text on that.
And then a week from today, North Green will play Oakdale, the one you're talking about, at 4:30. Clay County will play Douglas at 6, and that's the winners. The winners will play each other. On Wednesday, Whitehaven will play Powell. Northeast will play Riverdale. Memphis East will play Blackman, and Memphis East 29-3, Blackman 32-0. Memphis East won it last year, didn't they?
I think so. Isn't that where Hardaway's
Hardaway.
at? Hey, and if you're wanting to watch this girls championship Saturday at 1 o'clock and then at 3:30 and 6, that will all be on my VLT network on all 3 weekends for the boys and the girls. It's the same time next weekend as it is for this weekend for TV games. Also, if somebody gets lucky enough from around here to wind up in the finals, you can catch it on my VLT.
So Oakdale didn't get a very good draw then, having to play somebody like Douglas right off in the second game.
Speaking of
all of them pretty good.
If you're left in the final 8 right here, you're a pretty good basketball team, girls or boys, either one. Speaking of Penny Hardaway, I seen last night on ESPN that Penny Hardaway, they're looking at firing Tubby Smith to hire Penny Hardaway to come to coach at the University of Memphis. Possibility. He's, was a legend at, I guess it's Memphis State maybe.
So
when
Tubby will just take his $3.2 million and go home?
And go home, I guess, or go someplace else. There's going to be plenty of openings. When the FBI pro's said and done, I'm sure there'll be some coaches bite the bullet eventually.
You think Tubby's one of them?
No, I don't think he's one of them. No, I didn't say he was one. I said there'll be plenty of openings. I indicate me and that he'll be able to go and find a job if he wants one. I won't be surprised if Bruce Pearl ain't in it. Maybe not. I hope not, but he might be involved in it.
Well,
you done got a coach involved in it.
Let's just talk about, Bruce Pearl took Auburn to co-championship of the SEC this year from a very, very bad basketball team when he got there. So once again,
and also he took a basketball team that was undermanned this year because they had some players that they never got eligible. So I think he done a pretty good job. I would have to give him a pretty good grade if I was handing out grades.
So in your opinion now, I know when he was leaving UT, you didn't think that he was a very good X's and O coach. Have you changed your mind?
I don't know that he's still a good X and O's coach. I think he's a great recruiter. I don't know about the X and O's part. I mean, down the stretch they faltered. Down the stretch they faltered a little bit.
The job that Rick Barnes has done.
Oh, I'd have to say it's A+.
A+.
Well, I just think you have to. I mean, to pack Thompson Bowling Arena with basketball and everybody to be, literally excited about
13th.
Pick 13th and be the co-champs. And that's why I say, Auburn down the stretch didn't do a very good job. Well, they lost some basketball games. I think they lost maybe 3 out of the last 4, I think. Tennessee had a chance maybe if Auburn would have lost the last game of the year. They had a chance to win it outright, and it didn't happen. Look at what Rick Barnes has had to play with this year, and it's not a very big basketball team. I won't be shocked on the SEC tournament if they don't get knocked out. I don't know that we'll be playing in the championship. I'm gonna tell you,
Kentucky.
There you go. I hate to say it because I'm not a big Blue fan in any form or fashion. They're playing pretty good basketball right now. They might be a team I wouldn't want to play. And Tennessee struggled a little bit with Mississippi State down there in the first half. And they really laid it on them in the second half. So if they have to play, they play the winner of LSU and Mississippi State. So we'll just have to see. Yeah. Florida worries me being on that side because Florida is a streaky. Florida's been playing pretty good too.
I think Calipari probably just let them play some and then said, now, you've tried it your way, it didn't work, never playing my way.
I also see, talking about college basketball, I've seen where the NBA commissioner is trying to work out something with the NCAA for these one-and-doners to allow them to go to the NBA, and they'll go to some development league, and I'm assuming you'll get paid to play in that development league. But if you enter college, you got to stay 3 years, like baseball. Baseball or football one. Yep. Enter. They also are some suggestions have been made. If a kid declares for the draft and he's not drafted, basketball. He declares for draft as a freshman, and he's not drafted, he ought to be allowed to re-enter school.
So if he does that in basketball, why shouldn't he be able to do it in football?
It's just different rules for different sports. You can't do it in football now, but basketball's different, so they're letting them. I can't answer that question. I ain't never even thought about it that way. But they're just trying to think if you're going to if you're going to get a kid that thinks he's NBA ready and he's not, as long as he don't do the agent stuff, he does everything right. Allow him to come back. I don't know if that's a good thing. We might not be able to hear who this is here. We'll have to see.
You're on the air.
Hello, Ron. Hello, David. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. How about you?
Doing fine. I want to ask one question here, and then we're going to go to I know we're not playing Auburn in a different bracket, but if they had to play again, and we played one time this year, who do you think would win that game? I'll hear what both of you say. And
which game is that now?
There's going to be about 6 teams that could win this SEC tournament. Arkansas is coming on real strong right now. Kentucky's coming on strong.
Missouri.
Florida is, Tennessee, Auburn. It could be any of those. It's just a balanced conference. But if they did have to face Auburn, who do you think could win that?
I'm going to say Tennessee, Don.
Why do you, David? Now, give me the reasons on that.
I just think Tennessee might be playing a little bit better, and I also think Tennessee might be a little bit more healthier than Auburn. Auburn lost a kid. I don't remember what game he broke an ankle, and he was a big-time player for them. They're down even more than they were. So I'm going to give Tennessee the advantage just because the depth of the bench and Auburn's bench is really short right now going into the tournament.
Don, I'm going to say Tennessee because I think Tennessee has developed their players from the start of the season until now better than Auburn has. Auburn has won a couple of games just on sheer energy running up and down the floor. I think Rick Barnes has Tennessee right now much improved. I think he's sort of put the pieces of the puzzle together, and he did it slowly. He didn't try to jam the pieces in at the start of the year, at the middle of the year. He sort of let the pieces float around a little bit, and I think he's put this basketball team in really good position right now. I agree with your assessment that this tournament is probably the most wide open tournament in SEC play in years because Kentucky or Florida has dominated over the years. Right. I think Conzo Martin's putting together a pretty good Missouri team right now.
He is, but Don, it wouldn't shock me to see Kentucky and Florida in the finals.
Well, it could be. I'm kind of agreeing with you. I don't know how far Tennessee's going to go in it. And here's what I don't know how far Tennessee will go in the big dance when we go to it. If we'll end up in the Sweet 16 or how deep we're going to go. I wonder if when we face harder teams that's got bigger, like Kansas or Duke, some of the people that North Carolina, and that's how we played North Carolina close at home. So, but there'll be teams that are what I call top-tier teams that, usually Kentucky, all these teams get the top-tier players.
You're right. I agree with you.
Tennessee's in probably the top 2 tier. He's done a great job with what he had. I just wonder if we have to face some of these teams, how far and how deep. We're not that tall, and sometimes we get a little sloppy on offense. We're great on defense, but we throw the ball away, and sometimes we go up. If you notice, we'll go up, hit a shot. We don't run to the basket. We may miss 2 or 3. You've got to, in our free throws sometimes. We did good the other night. I think we only missed 1. But great teams don't miss their free throws.
That's true.
Don, I think the other thing,
you've got to put all that together.
I think the other thing you got to worry about if you're Tennessee too is playing a team like Villanova, where you've got really good guard play, the quick guards. I think where they can penetrate. I think if you let teams get into the paint on you, I think they end up shooting a lot of crip shots because we get out positioned and then you start leaving your feet underneath and I think then you get into foul trouble. But more importantly, I think the quick guards really will cause us trouble.
We may face Kentucky again in the SEC.
That'd be great,
It could be a
wouldn't it?
3-time Kentucky deal.
I agree. I hope that happens. But everybody that's the people that says they know what they're talking about, and I don't know if they do or not. They say Tennessee will go to the second weekend. They'll make it out the first weekend and be in the second weekend. So I don't know if that's true or not. I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them go one time.
Don, let's change subjects just a minute. And Oak Ridge lost a huge supporter of athletics this week.
Yeah, I've known. He knew my family, Mr. Hart, for many years. Matter of fact, his first wife, her parents, and my dad and his dad worked together after playing. He was truly a Wildcat that was dedicated to the city. It's a true loss for the city. He was at all the events around town. I saw him really, I guess I saw him at the ball game this year, but I also talked to him personally out at the plants when they had I forgot what they call it, where you go back out there, twice a year, and they have some kind of event out there at the start. But we sat there and talked in the car a long time and had a pretty good conversation. It's a big loss for the city. He's a great guy, and he'll be missed. We're losing a lot of those guys, it seems like now, and he'll always be a Wildcat, and we'll always remember him, and just keep his family in your prayers. I'm sure they're hurting real bad right now.
I'm sure.
It's a sad time, Lynn was a good man. He owned the bowling center here, and baseball was big in his. His son played some minor league ball, and just a good guy, all around good guy, and going to be missed.
Hey, off the subject, but you're not going to school Tuesday, are you?
What'd you say? I can't hardly hear you.
Are you going? I said you're not going to school, are you? You don't have school this week, do you? School board school Tuesday? You're not going? Are you going? Is it something you've already had?
I'm going to our school board meeting tomorrow night. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I got the 8-hour class this coming up Tuesday.
No, I'm going to go to the next one.
Okay.
I'm going to be at the one. I believe June or July. That's when I signed up.
Okay, all right then.
So, yeah, you have to do. That's a lot of people, David. Of course, we're changing subjects, but people don't realize this. And the school board's a little different. You have to go to all this stuff. It's the only elected office you have to go to stuff.
Yeah, that's why I tell Barry that all the time.
Mandated.
Yeah, it's mandated. All right, buddy.
Sure is. Well, we'll see y'all later. Have a good night, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate you.
Wow. Talk to a little school board and get them all lined up.
You're on the air.
Ron, what's going on, Ron and Queen? Been a while there. This Triple D.
How you doing, Triple D?
Hey, Triple D, too blessed to be depressed, too blessed to be stressed. Triple D doing fantastic.
All right.
Hey, I want to. I know Don Bell just got off there a few minutes ago. I want to send my prayers and condolences to the Bohannon family. I lost a teammate this past week, Cordell Bohannon. Queenie, you should be familiar with him.
Yeah, I think so. I think I know who you're talking about. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played against Adrian Fletcher and played against Johnny Beam and the Griffin guy, Kenny O'Fritz. I played. That was during the 74-75 year. That's my junior year.
Yeah. Okay.
We had Steve Britton that drowned down in Cartier Hull Dam.
Yeah.
We lost him my senior year. Well, I was a junior that year, and I want to send a shout out to him on a serious note to his family. I went to the funeral this past Monday, and he was a real good, close, not only a basketball player, he was a good, close friend of mine and my family.
Okay.
And we growed up together. Used to play, ball started out youth league and whatever. But he was a fine guy, a good close friend, and he was even a better person. Well, and, he was only 60 years old, and that's tough. But the Bible says he comes like a thief in the night. You never know the day or the hour he coming back. We just have to be ready, prepared, to go. So, but he was ready. I had shared a lot of times with him. Matter of fact, this past December, he came to the house, him and another childhood friend, and we stayed up to about 2 o'clock in the morning just talking about old times.
Well, I hate to hear that, Triple D. Sorry for the loss there, bud.
Yeah, it's real. It is. And see, he touched a lot of lives. He's a good player. This guy can jump out the gym. You talking about David Thompson. He can get up and I don't know if you and Ron know that Sean Bohannon was his son.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's his son. That's the one that he went to Alabama, and my nephew went to Florida.
Yes, I remember that.
Well, that's his boy.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's taking it pretty hard, and I can understand why, because they had a really good father-son relationship. So, we talk about a lot of things, we cut up about a lot of things, but when it comes down to a life and a friend, and nobody in life want to lose a loved one, regardless of the age or stage.
Right.
And I just want to call in and ask you and Ron to pray for the family.
Appreciate you. Got it done.
Thanks, Triple D.
Okay, you're welcome. Y'all have a blessed night.
You're on the air.
Okay, well, y'all.
Ron and David, how are y'all tonight?
Doing great. Hope you are.
Good. I want to catch you up to speed. I guess we had the open house or donors dinner, I guess, for the Hollingsworth Sportsplex last Thursday night. I just want to catch you up to speed with it. What a successful night that was. And community came out and did a great job, and a lot of Randy Boyd was there. Just a lot of people interested in what that building actually looked like. They hadn't been there, and they got the tours. Football players were there, and all the athletes were there at Clinton High School, and they would go through the building and tour. We had a nice dinner. All that was done by Terry Turner, who owns All Occasions Party Rental, and but just a big night. It's a big celebration for Clinton High School, and a building that will stay there for generations, not just this particular year, but for generations to come.
Well, it sounds, again, it's a great facility, and one that more and more communities are going to try to do that kind of thing. But Clinton's certainly to be congratulated for taking the leap and getting that done.
Well, Tim Parrott called, I think it was like in August of 2016, and he had asked if I would be interested in sharing the donation part of it. And Tim Parrott calls, you try to say, or you try your best to do what he's asked you to do. And when I hung the phone up that night, Ron, I said, what in the world did I just do? And of course, at the same breath, I was trying to ask what was my first move going to be. And I met with several people within the school, and I guess we came up with, let's contact, I guess, the alumni and see how involved they're going to be. And I'm telling you, Ron, they built the foundation, the walls, and the roof to that thing. And then a lot of people would gather when they heard the name Joe Hollingsworth got involved in it. And that meant a lot. People knew that it would be done right, it would be first class. And they jumped on board, too. And the reading and the numbers that I had last Thursday night was $1,250,000 that the community of Clinton and Anderson County had combined for cash and pledges and so forth. And that's just, I can go all day, as David knows, I can go all day and sell a banner put around the football field. I can do that all day long. If somebody asks you to raise that kind of money, good night. A daunting task, but I'm telling you, it just fell into place, and people got excited. And pretty neat deal. They really hadn't been a brick laid at Clinton High School for 25 years. And Ron, that may have been it. And today we had a special guest. Peyton Manning came over and saw the complex.
Was David over there?
God almighty. That's the life I've ever heard one. It's like you said you didn't know what your first move was going to be. You still don't know what your first move's going to be. I was told somebody else done all that fundraising. Don't make me say it on the air, or I will.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I just thought you would like that.
Yeah, Peyton Manning ain't coming over at that.
I think
you don't have
one
to
of
worry
the,
about that.
You know, I think one of the upbeats of that facility is, and you've talked about it several times, is it's not just a football facility. It's not just an athletic facility that everyone in the school can use it, and you know, even in the community, I'm sure at times will be using it. So it's a multi-purpose facility, and sometimes a lot of people get hung up on just the fact that we're building something for sports.
Exactly, and I was there last week, Ron, and there were 6 teams in that building of different type of sports, and nobody was in no one's way. And you had dance and cheerleaders, and you had ROTC, and you had a football, baseball and softball, and the football team was lifting weights. But, you know, like I told you and David, you know, some of these minor sports who had never lifted weights before because they just didn't have the facility, and now they're lifting weights, you get stronger, you get better, Ron. And
sure.
And I'm just tickled to that, and it all boils down. You got to manage it once Joe turned over the keys to everyone. And Brad Collette has done a good job. He's got a big schedule in his office, and the matching schedule is in the complex, and he's got names on it, and that's who belongs there at 5 o'clock, and they can stay there till 5:45, and another team rolls in, and there's maybe 5 other teams doing this, studying film in the film room and so forth like that. So far, they've done an excellent job. But it's just hats off, because it's as big as it is, as many people can use it. It's probably going to be a pretty good job for somebody to manage that.
Well, E.T., I'll say it because I know David won't, but you know, hats off, right. Hats off to you and those folks who you called upon to, when asked, they came forward and served.
He didn't call nobody. He didn't call nobody. Somebody else done the work. See, silence is golden, baby. Silence is golden with E.T. You don't get him to say that. He didn't say he knows. I'm right. Now, won't you take Peyton Manning down to Food City in the morning while you eating breakfast and see how it goes over with everybody?
I was just judging what you can say on the TV and what you can't say on the TV was what I was really being quiet about.
Well, yeah. All that stuff you say you can't say, I've probably said it.
And E.T., I apologize, E.T., for you know, he's off his medication again tonight.
Yeah,
I apologize, but again, thanks for all you're doing in the community.
Yeah,
great matching up with the old alumni, and the other night was just like a reunion. Just a lot of people that went to Clinton High School. Thanks, guys, for doing a great job.
All right, see you, bud.
Appreciate it.
I got a text. I won't say who the text is from. We talked about the seats. Mm-hmm. He's gone. Oop, shouldn't have done that.
That's why I let you do it.
Hang him up there. Should hang him up. Anyway, that 1,000 seats is 1,000 seats.
Yeah.
So that's no way. That's not no way. And I didn't quite understand Brad's other text. Did I understand him to say they've done something? Did you read that as that they have the middle school has? That ain't it. Let me go back here. He say something about the TSSAA. We had them really since when Norwood we would be section 2.1 teams are in the area. So we have east, west. Morgan County included Wartburg in the west. Rome County included Norwood and Lake City. There's 12 something.
I don't know.
I don't know if that means that they've done something in.
I don't know.
I don't know. But
let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Check it.
Oh, we got to talk about one other thing when we come back before we run out of time tonight.
We'll be right back.
All right, thanks.
In downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose financing as low as 0% for 63 months on all new 2018 Outback models at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Good evening. Welcome back to the locker room.
Okay, what we was talking about, apparently TSSAA is putting in a middle school state tournament in basketball, no more East Tennessee champs, a true state tournament format for middle school basketball.
Wow.
So that's big news.
So you're not going to win 3 games and be a state champ.
I guess. I don't know how many they play anyway. It's played up in Pigeon Forge. I don't know how many they play. Well, no, this is going to put it in a true format to play in a state championship.
So you'll travel some to play.
I'm sure you have to travel. It's going to make it a little harder to win. I guess a state championship. I assume that's what I'm.
What else did you?
Well, I think the big thing is there's only one thing really left to talk about. We've danced around everything else and talked about it. Is the Lady Vols. I find some things interesting. First thing I find interesting is she's only got 13 months left on her contract. Even though Former has indicated that she's done a nice job, I don't think he'll fire her. I think he'll give her an extension. I think we've seen this past weekend she cannot coach. Blame it on whoever you want to blame it on. Missed 19 layups. There's something wrong.
Is that her fault?
Well, it should be. It's coaching.
Well, yeah, but now,
wait a minute.
In her defense, if you're getting for a layup, uncontested layup,
19 layups missed, just bad. Just everybody. There's not anybody. Most everybody's agreeing. Holly probably is on her way out. Not happening this year. She's going to get a free pass because she's got some freshmen. Next year she's going to lose 2 key people off her team. She's going to have more freshmen, so it's going to be so. We're going to be on we're rolling on 9 years right now. So seeing how you always like to throw Pat Summitt in this, I'll throw her in it, but I ain't going to go really way far there. It was 4 on her and it's 5 on Holly. It's time to make a change. It's time not to give her a contract extension. It's time to say, Holly, thanks for taking over during a tough situation, but it's probably time for you to retire and go on, and let's bring somebody else in here and see if we can turn the program around. I mean, and I'm going to agree with you, there's not that many elite programs, and Tennessee should be one of the elite women's basketball programs.
No question.
So we can agree on all that. I will concede all that. I will even go back to Pat's days and concede that she didn't went there before. But it's time to change. I won't be shocked if we're one and done in the tournament. One and done. One and done. I won't be shocked. It wouldn't shock me. I don't think it'll happen, but I wouldn't be shocked.
No,
but we're down.
And the only reason
we're down to 13 months.
But the only reason I say that is because, again, look at who you're going to be playing.
I understand, but we're down to 13 months. Now, if the fans are going to rumble on Rick Barnes with the job he's done this year, and they put him under pressure in 3 years to do what he's done, we ought to be over Holly. We ought to be saying, let's let her either coach it out or buy her out one. We buy everybody else out. Why not buy her out? Because it can't be that much. As you say, they don't bring that much money in, so we ain't paying her that much anyway. So let's get her out. I'd contribute the first dollar.
How much you think they're paying her?
I have no idea. Whatever it is, it's too much money.
I mean, what would you guess?
She's probably making $500,000 or $600,000 a year, maybe $1 million. I'm guessing. I really don't know, and I'm being serious. I've never heard a figure. We could probably take some donations. Maybe we call ET to get some donations up to take to UT to get her fired.
ET can raise
He could probably raise it. ET, see if he can raise us about $600,000-700,000 to go to UT to fire Holly Warwick. And maybe we could call the Haslams and get a little out of them.
I think, she may make a nice run. Who knows? Who knows?
Okay. Wishful thinking. I don't think it's going to happen.
But to watch the lackadaisical play and the number of point-blank layups, something's not. I mean, they're either not focused, not wanting to be focused. Something's amiss.
ET said done. He'll do it.
Something's amiss.
So maybe we can get her out there. But anyway, something's wrong. I agree with you. Something is really wrong over there. I don't know what it is. I know it's a tough. I know she replaced. One day somebody's going to have to take mine in your place, and they're not going to be able to do it because we're legends. I understand that. They'll have to take her place. They won't be able to do it. They'll have to call this show something else. They won't. They just won't be able. We're in that category, I think. See, I'm off my meds, so I can say that.
Well, you are.
We're in that category. We're well known all over Tennessee, just like Pat Summit was. That's been a tough job. It's almost, in fairness, I think the fair thing for me to say, and you probably agree with it, almost unfair to have to try to take her, fill the shoes.
And I think
it's almost a job.
I think you said it. She's done a nice job of filling in and taking care. The program hasn't gotten any better, but it hadn't gotten any worse.
We're talking about someone that won 20-plus ball games this year, that was ranked in the top 15 most of the year. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. So could it be another football situation if we do get rid of a coach? Do you have another football situation that you're going to go through with the Lady Vols? I mean, is that the situation? So I really think maybe Holly ought to do the job and step down and not have to put it on somebody else. If she cares as much about the program as I think she does, that's probably what she'd do.
But either way you do it, it doesn't matter whether she steps down or whether she gets fired. You still have the chance of going through 2 or 3 coaches in the next 5 or 6 years.
Don't you think that's a possibility at any school?
Sure it is. Sure
at any school. I mean, we've
in any sport.
We've done that in baseball here recently. And we're doing it again in baseball. Just
and the same thing is going to happen in softball.
Wait till the weeklies. When they leave, and softball will be in the same situation. Yeah. I understand that. And
26-1. But you know what I found interesting in that? You can go almost 3 quarters down the SEC, and there's only 3 losses. I mean, it's you would think Tennessee with 26-1. I was expecting them to be way out in front of everybody else.
No,
they're not there. Of course, up until now, you're playing non-conference games, and that schedule is not near as tough.
Alabama, Auburn, and some of those teams, Florida, they've really been good girls softball teams in the last 2 or 3 years. Along with Tennessee, I don't want to leave them out because they have been too. So if you look at that scenario with those teams for sure, and then everybody else that gets a stack in there too. So
and the softball program is a lot like basketball. There's a top tier and a bottom tier, and there's.
I'm afraid you're right, buddy. It's about as
there is at the top.
I don't really like agreeing with you on that, but I'm afraid you're right, and I'm afraid
it took a long time for you to agree with me on basketball.
It did. It did, and I don't want to do it now. But I think Tennessee's not in the top tier anymore. They're in the bottom tier, I think.
No, I think they're still in the top tier. They're in the bottom half of the top
Ron,
tier.
It's the same thing like in Ole Miss. Ole Miss girls basketball coach got fired on mutual agreement, same thing as being fired. He probably got fired partly because of his record, but partly because Mississippi State was on one heck of a run. and goes into the tournament 30-0, but lose the tournament and get beat by South Carolina. So that got the guy at Mississippi run off. Ole Miss, they run that coach off because of that.
Which losing to South Carolina, who eventually won the SEC tournament, gives Holly a little more credibility than had she lost to somebody that hadn't stayed there.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because South Carolina just got on the roll. Just what we're talking about Kentucky doing on the men's side. They got on the roll right at the end. Hadn't been 3 weeks ago.
Well, also,
Tennessee beat them right in Knoxville.
And also the defending national championship champions too is South Carolina. So,
but I mean,
no, you're right. It just been a couple 3 weeks ago. They beat South Carolina
easily.
Easily. It was pretty good. So it's too much inconsistency for me, and I just think a lot of people needs to come to the terms. That's probably what needs to happen.
Well, high school baseball and softball, as we mentioned, starting off. It's here. Next week we'll start official play. So the weather's got to either be raining or cold because it's springtime sports time. You know, in basketball, we didn't have a lot of teams in our area, you know, really doing well. It's good to see Fulton back. Coach Jody Wright, 700 wins.
Big.
And gets them back into the state tournament. It's sort of a fixture.
I think I was hanging around over there when he won his 500th game, I think, and Jody's a good basketball
When will
coach.
we ever know the real story why you left over there?
I just left. I was just ready to go. It was time to
So
find something else.
There's no story there.
There's no story there. I just left.
And you're sure?
I probably could go back today if I wanted to.
I don't know. I've asked him that.
Nah, you ain't asked him that.
I've asked him
I'm not worried about that. You don't have to worry about. I don't want to go back anyway.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoyed why I did it, but
Yeah,
too
you
much.
got that ring and took off, didn't you?
I didn't get one ring. I got two. I
Took
wish
off.
I'd have hung around and got a third. Maybe I should have hung around and got a third, man. Huh? It's nice to have them. I didn't really do nothing to deserve a ring, but I got two of them. Got to watch a lot of great kids play basketball. I got to watch two of the, and I seen a lot at Fulton. I seen a lot overall just where he played. But I got to probably watch two of the best basketball players that I think.
One went to Mississippi State.
One went to Mississippi State, and Gallman went to Murfreesboro. MTSU. I get it right in a minute. Gallman and Jalen Steele, two of the best basketball players that I've ever seen play basketball. I can say I got to watch them for 4 years play basketball, and I really enjoyed that. But it's time consuming, man. I have a lot of respect for coaches.
It is.
They put a lot of time in.
You know, and another thing is, isn't it interesting to see in the state basketball tournaments, no initials?
Yes.
But
Real interesting.
and it's also interesting to see that Grace wins a state championship first year out, beats Webb on the boys' side. Coach Ricky Norris on the Webb side loses by 2, but there's a team that would have been on the public side, right? Probably in Murfreesboro. So when you look at the teams now in Murfreesboro, not many private schools there.
It's a good thing right there, man. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
But there'll be a lot of folks heading out toward Murfreesboro, and I'm sure you've probably raised some questions that the Cofield fans will probably take you up on.
I think they should.
Take you up on.
I think they should. Go down and cheer on Oakdale and get a little revenge that way. That's what I'd do.
And if you want to make a contribution to Oakdale, you know, it's a small school. Oakdale may be the smallest school in the state tournament. I don't know.
I don't know. They very well could be.
They would be probably one of the few schools where 8th graders are playing.
Well, go help them out if you can.
But you know, it's a small school, small community, and you know, a motel room costs the same at Oakdale for Oakdale kids as it does for some of the bigger schools. So if you get a chance, write a check to Oakdale High School and get it in the mail to them. They'll appreciate it, and you'll be helping a lot of kids out that way. I would, but you've broke me on that, on all your trips.
All right. See you next week, man.
This spring.
All right.
Is that all you got to say?
That's all I got to say. Glad to be here tonight. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay. Guys, have a great week. Get out and support high school baseball, softball, and tennis, all the spring sports. You'll be glad you did. See you here next week.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. Kurt?